My heart, half steel heart, and truth. We all have a kind of weak heart inside our chest. It's not like this. In all the human heart, the two realities are reconciled: weakness and possibility. Now it all depends. This weakness and this force depends on the part we feed. Music asks, it is a proposal. You know, my people, I always interpret the option for Jesus as being an option for what is noble, as if you had the opportunity to choose the dreams you will dream for your life. There are people who dream noble dreams, others not so much so. It all depends on the choices you are doing throughout your life. It all depends on what you learn as value, what you are incorporating in your own life. I have no doubt that the choice for Jesus, it puts us from the perspective of dreaming loudly. I do not speak of dreams that put us with vanity, of realization of this. Nada. I am talking about an inner realization that goes beyond the meaning of this exteriority that people can see in us. Because you could suddenly interpret loud dream like being a famous man, a great woman, full of possessions, having a lot of money. Vanity. No, I'm talking about that satisfaction of being who you are. Dreaming loud to have feelings in my heart noble. Being a person sensitive to the needs of the world. Being a person who adds to the society in which he is living. Is it so beautiful for us to find throughout Brazil that makes a difference? That's what I'm talking about. From time to time, life puts us underground. Have you noticed that there are feelings that push us down? Could you already observe that sometimes your heart is taken by some human petty that throws you down? I'm sorry this every time when I'm sorry. This is interesting. The process of repentance in my heart makes me realize that how much my attitude took me down. And that's why I feel so sorry. Because I am a man full of defects. But I don't like losing it out of sight. I want to get things from above. I want to be a friend of the things of God. I want to be a partner of what works out, what it raises, what it builds. If I can't do well, if I don't live to do good, what will be left? Either I will be a neutral, or I will be someone who does evil. I don't know if there is human achievement in these two situations. Be neutral. Do not change or decrease, or live to partner with what is the culture of the underground. What is a shield? What plays down? What damages? What? Unless it is not. I don't think we need to waste our lives by partnering with what pushes us down. How do we partner with these things? When we allow our heart to become a territory for the development of this is. I remember that when I was at school, in the first year of primary, the first primary year of elementary school, our teacher taught us how to plant beans. And we planted the beans in cotton, didn't we? You must have gone through this experience too, right? We had a paircinho that we took from the house. The teacher said, "Inhas Azul is here laughing." Remembering this. Must have done this a lot with the students so. We put on that sauce of cotton. We wet that cotton and hid a seed, a bean, which is already the seed, right? And our curious eyes, every day, kept watching. We had a moment of our class that Donna Rosangela took us to see the situation of beans. In the early days, nothing happened. On the first day, on the second, nothing happened. But suddenly it comes from the middle of the cotton. And we had the mission of keeping that cotton always damp. Suddenly a green brown. And then we saw the whole process of beans growth in the middle of that soaked cotton, moistened. Do you know what I find interesting? In these small lessons that life has given us through schools, in these small lessons that our eyes could witness, because someone had one day the sensitivity to show us the process of life. We find that all that we want to grow, we have to plant and cultivate. It was not enough to throw the beans in the cotton. It was necessary to take the daily care of wetting to allow him to have a moisture for that seed to bear fruit. That's it, my people. Spiritual life is like planting the cotton bean. The beans, it reminds us protein, strength, vitality, right? You must have listened to your mother a lot, right? If you do not eat rice with beans, it will be skinny the rest of your life. And we were afraid of being skinny, right? We had a dread of getting skinny, didn't we? Or not. Were you afraid of being skinny? I had horror, because my mother spoke, who does not eat will be skinny. There will be no health. There will be no one. There will be no. That will be no. And she was right. We need the food for us to grow. But it is interesting to realize that for the food to make us grow, he also has to grow. And he has his process. We looked at that soaked cotton, saw the seed born in the middle, and we learned a little about what life is like. A simple event. Today, at this moment, in many places in the world, the seeds are growing. The seeds are fruitful. They are rotting under the earth to give way to the fruit that will then reach our table. That's why I have a deep respect for farmers, men and women who cultivate the earth so that we have the food. When he gets there at the fair so we can buy, my God, how many people had to wake up early for consecutive months, getting up, taking the frost, throwing the water before the sun can dry because of that ice upward shove. A lot of people took care that life came to us. And then we find that our human process is the same thing. That if we also have no commitment, if we also have no cultivation, we do not bloom. And human fulfillment depends on this flowering. The human being will be happier and more fulfilled as he grows up, having solid roots, as the wisdom teaches us. The same so much that the root grows out, it grows inward. The same so much that the plant grows up, it grows inward. Just as that fragile bean root was growing through the cotton so that it could live. It's the same thing with us. My people. We need to grow so that we can produce fruits, so that we can live with satisfaction, so that we can reach the top. Seeking things from above is, first of all, before being an obligation, it is a satisfaction. It bothers me a lot when religion is understood, conceived as a process of obligations. No. It is in the understanding that God does me good, that in accepting the law of God within my heart, much more than obeying a rule, I am favoring inner growth. The other day, a friend of mine played with me at the gym. He is not very religious, but then he went to see the recording of my DVD there in Sao Paulo. He was very touched with everything that happened there. And then this week he found me. So, is your program being live? I want to see this week. Then he came back and said like this, I think I'm getting a little dear. Then he's a person I like a lot, right? I find myself always there. I did his wedding. I presided over the celebration of his marriage. A special friend, but we never talk about religion. We talk about life. I never port with him as a priest. He meets me at the gym and we are friends. We talk about a lot of things. I tell mine a life. He tells him. But at that moment, when he played with me, I think I'm getting a little dear. I realized that in his heart, he was understanding that religion, he is not obliged. But by understanding religion as a beauty to be lived, he automatically interpreted the being Carla. And it's true. Sometimes in our lives, we have a great difficulty in incorporating value because we always look at value as a rule. The rule is very important. The rule guides. If it were not for the rules, society could not exist. We need the traffic rules. We need the rules written in the children. We need the rules written in the papers. Those that regularize human relations. It can't. But the human being, he has to discover the value, the spirit of the rule. And that's what makes us grow, my people. When we incorporate this value, when we identify with, if I want to be a partner of life, I want to be a partner of what he builds. Just as the bean is born and grows so that our eyes could understand the meaning and process of birth, life, we also discover that our heart lacks the same need. Go up, seek what is the highest in the world, not for an obligation, but because you deserve it. I understand thus, priestly ministry is a ministry that has to facilitate people's entry into God's residence. It's like a doorman, not to inhibit the entrance. No, to make it easier. A porter that welcomes. That sometimes there is that doorman who doesn't let us get in ill. In our case, no. The priest, the religious sister, everyone who somehow evangelizes. Our mission is to open the doors of God's house and invite you to enter. You will always be very welcome. God has a lot to offer you. When God really does part of your life, your human structure, you can be sure that you will grow a lot as a person.